What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back in some more Trove, and today we're going to be highlighting the costumes that you can get out of the Curiosity Merchant. Now, unfortunately for both me and for you watching, a lot of these costumes are time gated, and I'm not really in the habit of covering them one at a time as individuals. I've actually been skipping a lot of the items that this merchant has just because most of them are usually very lackluster and very expensive considering the lack of content you get out of it. But costumes are always going to be something that I appreciate. I think it's no surprise at this point that this Curiosity Merchant has basically replaced the costume packs that we were getting for the longest time. Personally, I will always prefer to have a pack that gives you a bunch of items versus getting one item individually at an upscaled price. But anyways, I'm going to be highlighting all these costumes. Essentially, some of them are for qubits, some of them are for credits, and you have to have all of them in order to end up getting the Snowy Smasher costume, which I finally have now. Unfortunately, again, this video is after a couple of this character's inventory have been cycled out because, of course, you know, the game's designed around FOMO with this idiot as well. So anyway, this is going to end up being the Ice Sage costume, which I would have definitely preferred this was a costume for the Tomb Raiser, just because I would have actually been using it a lot more. It's one of my favorite costumes just for the Ice Sage in general. I really, really like it. Personally, again, if it was for the Tomb Raiser, then I would probably have it a lot more highlighted in streams and videos and stuff like that. But this is actually one of the items that is currently in his inventory, as well as a couple others as well. So let's actually hop right into the next character, which I don't think there was Fey Trickster. I'll double check. But there is Neon Ninja costume. I don't think he's selling this one anymore, unfortunately, but this one is hilarious just because it's a porcupine. And I mean, look at his face. He's like so cursed and stupid. And I love him and I hate him at the same time. The VFX, of course, aren't anything to write home about. You know, generally speaking, these costumes or costumes for the Neon Ninja are never really that impressive, especially because the throwing item is always going to end up being the shuriken. But hey, whatever. There's also a gunslinger costume, which this is currently in the store. This looks cursed because it's supposed to be a rabbit as far as I know, but the head doesn't look like a rabbit. It looks like some type of buff, weird creature, like a kangaroo or something like that. I don't know. Either way, whatever. Here you go. You've got an Easter themed costume that for some reason has bubble VFX, because that totally makes sense. Not really anything super crazy. I mean, honestly speaking, as far as Gunslinger is concerned, we've already got a lot of really cool costumes, but it's not like I dislike this one. You know, at least it's thematically kind of neat. And then this one is the Tomb Raiser costume, and this is the one that's currently in his inventory right now. I like it just because of how cursed it is. I still do wish that it was the Splatoon guy or whatever. Really? Oh, I was gonna say there's no VFX for my base attack, but no, it just broke. And then of course our babies are going to end up being these little crab people. Our class gem actually changes them, which is nice. Doesn't always happen. And then our alt is just some crustacean monster of madness that I wish I never saw. Let's see if we can get him a bit bigger. There we go. He is atrocious, and he's also wearing a big old diaper. At least it looks like he is. So then there was also these are the ones that are out of rotation. I think there was the Lunar Lancer. Yeah, so this is the Tony the Tiger great Lancer costume. It looks pretty cool, I gotta say. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of tiger stuff, but this thing actually looks pretty neat. The effects, of course, don't really change that much. They do change, just not very much. Seems like we've got like some dragonflies or something flying off of him. The spear style is also with the costume, although I don't know if it necessarily fits. I think it should have been like a spoon or something to really ride home the idea of it being like a, you know, a cereal mascot, basically. And then if I'm not mistaken, I'll double check right now, but I don't think... Was there a Vanguard one? Yeah, the Vanguard is actually the last one. I think that might be it. I could be missing one of the costumes. I'm sorry. Again, I didn't necessarily plan on doing a video about all of this stuff, but it seems like that was it. It seems like it was the Tony the Tiger, Gunslinger, Tomb Raiser, What else we got? What else we got? What else we got? And then there was a little bit of a break for the other ones there. And then, yeah, I guess this is going to be the final one. So in order to get this costume for the Vanguard, you had to have all of the other costumes, which of course were time gated. I don't know whether or not this Curio Merchant's items will recycle at any point. Maybe they'll show up in Luxian's inventory, or just generally speaking, he'll have them again. I don't know. But this is actually an atrociously, like, just disgusting costume. Like, bleh, like, look at this thing for the Vanguard. I like it, of course, because it's so cursed. The VFX are all right, you know, they're serviceable, at least unique, kind of. Not really my favorite VFX of any of the characters, honestly speaking, just because the VFX of the Vanguard are always very, very limited, because all you really get is just your shots that you'll never see because you never go into ranged mode, and then your laser beam. But the costume itself, again, is just disgusting, and I love it because of that. Either way, that's gonna do it for the Curio Merchant. Again, I completely disagree with this Curio Merchant's implementation. I do wish that we would still get the packs, because those are videos that I know how to make those videos, you know, I know how to make a class pack video, but something like this is a little bit more disjointed and doesn't really make as much sense to me. I guess moving forward, I could just do a YouTube short of like the individual costumes for you guys, if not just make really, really short videos focusing on the costumes, and then maybe have one of these videos that focuses on all of them after the fact. But again, it's not like I get most of the items out of his inventory, because most of the time it's garbage. It's like the last things that we had out of him were allies that were like utensils or something like that. It's just, I don't remember what it was. It was like, oh, a stapler. It's like, why would I spend 1,000 credits on something like that? You know, like if it was just thrown into a pack that was like 2.5 or 3K credits, I'd be much more inclined, because I would be getting a bunch of other stuff as well as the items that I don't want, versus this guy where you can pick and choose the items that you want and don't want. And frankly speaking, the majority of items out of this guy's inventory I do not like. I wouldn't have even gone for the gunslinger costume, except I knew I needed it to get the showy smasher. Out of all of these costumes though, I really like the cuddly kraken. That is actually my favorite one out of all of them. They're all pretty cool, honestly speaking. But again, I just wish that we would start to see the costume packs and stuff like that added to the game again. There is a lot of costumes already in the game, granted, like a lot of costume packs, and a lot of them are seasonal rotation. So I know that this character does make sense in that regard. But come on, devs. Like, come on, get rid of this guy. You already got too many things that are cash up oriented, like stupid Fluxian, which I absolutely hate. Anyways, that's gonna do it for me. Smash like, sub for more, buy the merch you want, support the channel, and have a wonderful day.